Hello, Western Oregon sports fans, and welcome to this edition of Wolves Weekly. Joining me again this week, head women's coach Greg Bruce. Coach Bruce, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here, Danny.
Well, around campus, I know you had a road trip last week. You went up to Canada and up to Bellingham, but nobody around this campus can stop smiling when they talk about your women's basketball program. You guys are off to a 4-1 start in the conference, tied for second in the league right now. Just a great start to the year, Coach.
It is. It's been really good. We've been playing some good basketball. We've got our hands full this week and next week, but it's nice to know that at least we can go out there and pretty much compete in every game we've been in.
And we talked to you last week before you went up to Simon Fraser. You guys were able to go up there and get an 84-74 win. Talk to me about that game a little bit and what you guys were able to do to beat them.
Well, Danny, I think this whole weekend, actually, we had a really good offensive weekend. We passed the ball extremely well. I believe we had 22 assists against Simon Fraser, which is our season high, and we only had 14 turnovers, which is our season low. So that was really good. We made some outside shots. We moved the ball around. We attacked the basket. We got some free throws. We just had an all-around good offensive game. And defensively, we were able to control their main player. Melissa Fowler, Daniel Belando, Sarah Zoller, all three of them kind of worked against number 8 for them, the big tall kid that was averaging 22 and 12. We really held her down. So that was a shot in the arm defensively. Number 10, their point guard, hurt us a little bit. You know, we were up 21 in the second half in that game, and I was a little disappointed. We had like a 4 or 5 minute stretch there where we didn't do some things that we needed to do, and the game got a little closer than the score than it was. But I was really happy to go on the road to win in the GNAC. I don't care where you're at, where you're going, you know, who you're playing. It's a good win.
And you're able to get 25 points out of both Riley Peterson and Sarah Zoller in that game. You say it's a good offensive game overall, but it's nice when you can get two people rating it in like that.
Yeah, Riley at the half was 5 for 5 from the three-point line, and Sarah ended up 5 for 7 for the game, and most of hers came in the second half. So they kind of ham and egged it pretty good all the way through the game.
And to me, you talked coming in last week, you were a little bit worried about the size of Simon Fraser. To me, you talked about the assist to turnovers. That one stood out to me a lot. But you guys out-rebounded it by 7. That's a matter of commitment, toughness, and fighting for it.
The girls really, we stressed. We didn't think they blocked out particularly well because they relied on their size to get a lot of rebounds. And we worked hard early last week in attacking the offensive boards as soon as the shot went up. And I thought Zoller, Jade Haas, Jamie Richardson, people like that with some speed from the perimeter could get to the boards and we could capture a few of those. And sure enough, it worked out that way.
Well, fantastic. And then you talked overall your shooting. You guys you talked about Sarah Zoller and Riley Peterson combined for 10 three-pointers in that game. Always nice when you have a big team that you can spread them out a little bit on those ones.
Yeah, but as they always say, Danny, shooting makes up for a multitude of sins. So the ball's going in the basket. Good things usually happen.
And then you had to travel down, head a little south that day, go down to Bellingham, Washington, to face Western Washington, who has perennially been one of the GNAC powers in this conference. Always a very tough team. Ran into a little bit of a roadblock there. Yeah,
they're ranked 13th in the country right now. They've only lost 1 game. They're 12-1. They're very well coached. They've been a traditional power, as you mentioned, for years. And, you know, we came out fired up in that game to start with. We made some shots. We attacked the basket. We got Riley open. I think she had 15 first-half points. And we were neck and neck with them at halftime. I don't remember. We were either down 2 or 1, or it was really close. Second half, though, they changed defenses on us a little bit, and we didn't shoot the ball as well from the outside. And their bigger bodies got going on us, and they got some easy shots that we didn't defend particularly well, and we got away from us a little bit at the end there. But I was really happy, you know. I brought some stats here for you for people that like that. But our 67 points against them was the second most anybody scored to date this year at 13 games. We had the most field goals anybody's put on them. Our shooting percentage at 43% from the field was the best of anybody that they've allowed so far this year. Our 14 assists were the most they've allowed. We even had 18 steals in that game defensively, which is the most they've given up. Riley's 19 points was the 3rd highest individual effort against Western Washington. So there were some bright spots, even though our winning streak came to an end, and we're 4-1 now, and we've got a tough week ahead of us with Anchorage coming in here on Thursday. But I was encouraged by some things. Offensively this weekend, we picked it up some. We've been struggling a little bit offensively. That seems to be going in the right direction now. And we let a little bit down on defense, which is what we got to put our minds to today at 3 o'clock for our practice.
But you obviously talked to me and mentioned these numbers here showing out Western Washington's defensive prowess out there, and you were able to get, besides Riley Peterson scored 19 points, you were able to get 13 points from Lori Clifford. That's got to be a good, very encouraging sign against such a good defensive team.
Yeah, Lori's been working really hard, and her offensive numbers are a little down this year from maybe where they ended up being last year toward the end of the season. But her shot, she's getting more confidence in her outside shot. She's always been a good driver. Sometimes she hesitates a little. She holds herself back. I don't think the other team holds her back. But her confidence is just becoming, you can just see it. She's starting to blossom a little bit. And it'll really be nice if we can get, 8 to 10 to 12 points out of her on a regular basis. That'll open up things for our wings and obviously for, Riley and Melissa and Danielle inside as well.
Well, you guys are right in the middle of the GNAC season now at this time. 5 games into the year of this 18-game conference schedule. There's no weekends off, basically. You guys are right now second place in the conference, tied with Alaska Anchorage with a 4-1 record. Who do you face Thursday night? The Seawolves come to town. Talk to me a little bit about what we're going to be prepared to face with this Anchorage team, which is another perennial GNAC power.
Yeah, they're they're currently ranked 12th in the country, and they've been to the Final Four two years in a row now, and or I guess 2 of the last 3. Seattle went last year. They're just a hard-nosed, defensive-minded, tough-nosed, get on the boards, beat you to death, smack you in the mouth type team. Defense is their first thing. Rebounding is right up there, and then they kind of let the offense take care of itself. They have a really good center, and Johansson, the kid from Sweden, is very good. Nikki Aiden, the girl from Oregon, kind of plays a 2-1 for them. A senior this year. She's been there for 4 years. Kind of like Sarah Zoller. She's really blossoming. And they brought in a bunch of junior college kids, and they're loaded. They got some good personnel. They're well coached again, and they play hard-nosed basketball.
Like you said, it'll take a lot of toughness from your team and probably take a little of that offense that you guys had last week just to put some points up on this team. I've been able to see them play a couple times down here, and like you said, they're as mean as it gets and as physical as it gets at the women's basketball level.
It is nice to be home, though. We haven't played a home game since December the 11th. I think we'll be over a month on the road, so it's nice to be at home, and hopefully that'll give our kids a little bit of a shot in the arm as well.
Fantastic. And you don't just have one game at home. You're able to take on Alaska Fairbanks. I guess stretch out this road trip if you can, a home state if you can call 2 games that. You guys will face the Nooks on Saturday at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, their program has been down the last 3 or 4 years. They hired a new coach this year, a lady that played for them a few years ago. Very upbeat. I've talked to her a lot. She's very nice. I saw her on the road this summer. A really good person. And they've been putting some points on the board. They're kind of scary because they have some talent, and now they have somebody that can organize that talent. They beat Central Washington last week. They didn't beat Northwest Nazarene, but they put, I believe, 69 points on them. So there's a team that you can't overlook, especially because you're going to get all built up for Anchorage, and then you got to get ready for Fairbanks on Saturday. So it's a good test before we head out on the road again.
Well, before you guys head out on the road, we hope everybody has a chance to catch you guys back at home. As we mentioned, it's going to be Alaska Anchorage on Thursday night at 7 p.m., and then it'll be Alaska Fairbanks on Saturday at 2 p.m. So come out, watch these Wolves, who are off to a great start this season. A lot of excitement around this team, a lot of talented players. So we hope to see you all out at the new PE building this weekend, and thank you for joining us on this edition of Wolves Weekly.